Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share my round three game from the Ohio Congress 2023 in September. This game, I was 1.5 out of two, and I had to face, of course, an 11-year-old rated over 1900. So, yeah, scary. His name is Nicholas. He's from Columbus area. I don't know his last name actually, but he's rated about 1950. And I was like, man, okay, why is this kid? He said he's 11 years old, but he looks pretty young. He must be newly 11. So I'll show the game. E4, E5. Somehow I got the black pieces twice in a row, but don't ask me about that. Knight to F3, knight C6, and C3. So, I mean, already it's like, man, this is the one opening I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know any theory. C3 has a clear intention. They want to go D4. It does take away the square from the knight, however. So I played the move D5. And to me, this makes some sense, right? Because if you take and I take with my queen, there's no knight C3 to attack the queen. But my opponent didn't play that. He played bishop to B5. I actually think the main line is queen A4. This is probably the extent of my opening theory. Queen A4 is annoying because it actually protects this pawn over here, but also pins the knight. And it's like, if you just break the pin naturally, there's pawn takes. That's kind of annoying. And because if you move this knight, they take here. Like, I don't know if I really like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like I should learn the Ponziani. That's what I feel like. I think I will. So after bishop to b5, I chose this move. I mean, I'm out of theory here. But my opponent told me after the game, nice kid, by the way. I like him. He's a nice kid, and he played well. After bishop to g4, I pinned his knight, and he played h3. It's fun. The facial expressions going on during this game were like priceless. Like I would make a move and like look at him and make a face, and then he would like make a move and look perplexed, and it was just like going back and forth with facial expressions for some reason. And then his friend was sitting next to him. His friend would look at the board and make a funny face. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I mean, not super funny, like more like, what is that kind of face, you know? So I figured maybe I'm playing some critical line, or maybe I'm playing some line they don't understand, or what, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, I was just trying to make logical moves. I was pinning the knight because I don't want my pawn to be taken for free. But then I did see there's this h3 move. So I decided to take the knight. I mean, that was basically my main idea, to permanently relieve pressure off of e5. Because if I did this, I'm pretty sure he would go g4. And then take, because why not? That knight is pinned. Now he can take my bishop next. He can still castle queenside. I feel like white's just better here. I don't want any part of this position. I mean, maybe I could do something like this. No, I can't, because they would fork me and win material, right? So I was seeing all these themes, and I was like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. So I just took the knight. I mean, this is my concession. I'm giving up the bishop pair. But his concession is that he played c3. His knight can't come to c3. And I have pressure on e4, which is kind of hard to defend. But he takes with the queen, which is what I expected. And then I played knight to f6. Okay, so now I'm attacking the pawn, and I'm also protecting that pawn. But he does take, which makes total sense. If he didn't take, I think he probably would have ended up in trouble. Like, what else can he do here? I'm threatening to take that with tempo. But he took here. And, you know, originally I was considering e4. But then I realized that e4 just loses. Because if I do this, attacking the queen, right? So forcing. And then he takes my knight. Wow, giving up your queen? Thank you. And then they do this. Yeah, they don't need their queen. They can make a new queen and win a rook and a knight. Like, so I think this is just winning. for white. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. Computer says this is winning for black. I just turned the computer on and winning for black. Knight d7. And they take my rook, but I take back. So they don't get a queen. Wow. And I guess if they, wow. And if they take this, I probably have to take with the king, right? I mean, if I take with the queen, that can't be good. This can't be right. So I guess I have to take with the king. And then when they win the rook, no queen for you. I'm out of danger? I mean, it's sort of like equalish material, except it's black's turn, and I can take that. I'm not looking at the computer. I'm just giving you my lowly 1700 analysis. But yeah, I did not calculate far enough. I saw that if I take their queen, they take with check. I had no idea knight d7 saves the day. That's like a new idea to me. Wow. Okay, more tactics for me. Which is a given, right? But it's nice to know why I need more tactics. All right, so I ended up, I should have maybe played e4 then. Not checking the computer, but okay, but I took here. Now, if I take with the queen, they can trade and trade here. Good pawn structure. Good job. That's why I didn't do that. So I took with a knight. And after castles, now I've got to make sure that I don't get killed on the e-file. Magnus Carlsen said it best. He said if you're one move away from castling, you're probably fine. He said if you're 2 moves away from castling, it's a little iffy. Better calculate. But you're probably okay, but you got to make sure. And he said if you're 3 moves away from castling, you're probably just lost. Well, I'm 2 moves away from castling. So I thought if I go bishop c5, I didn't play this move, but I was worried about the move d4 here, which is the tempo on my bishop, right? So I got to take. Okay, rook e1 check. This is probably okay in hindsight, but I'm not sure. Bishop e7. I mean, they could still take here anytime they want. Yeah. And then I was thinking, I guess I'm okay, but they could also just take here. Maybe I would. Maybe bishop c5 is playable, but I was not completely sure. And we're not looking at all the variations. So I chose bishop e7, which does block the e-file in the event of rook e1. I also saw this pawn sacrifice idea, which I love sacking pawns. So I gravitated towards that. Castles, they take. And yeah, my pawns are messed up, but now rook takes e5. He won a pawn, but at what cost? This reminds me of the Marshall attack, where white overextends their rook. Now, if they could play rook e1, you know, then that rook's well placed. But that's not happening, right? So the rook is just awkward here. The knight's awkward. The bishop can't move. I felt like I don't have full compensation. I would need both bishops, but I have some compensation, I thought. I'll check with the engine. Yeah, it says white is plus 0.4. Actually, plus 0.2. Yeah, so I was right. Okay, so that's good. So this pawn sack is sound. Bishop d6. Let's attack that rook. He goes back to e1. Okay, now I played rook e8. Same idea as the last game, actually. If you don't do anything, I'm going to take your rook for free with check. And by the way, that's checkmate. So they played rook f1. Now, I felt like in this position, I have full compensation, but I probably have to play precisely here, and I think I picked the wrong move. Last time I played bishop g5, and didn't play c5. This time I played c5. And my opponent told me after the game he thought this was strong, but I'm not so sure about that. I mean, he's going to go d4, so c5 makes some sense. Also, after c5, he can't take the knight. It looks like I'm blundering the knight, but I saw this check. And that is going to win a queen. So you actually can't take. So c5 is playable. And I thought here he should play d3, which he did do. Now, the downside is that what I was actually planning was knight to f4. And then I realized I can't play that. Like, he just opened up his bishop on that square. So I messed that up. So I wasn't too happy here. I actually wish I would have played knight to f4 first, because it eyes this square and eyes this square. And I don't know, this just looks nice. And I thought, I was actually calculating this, and I was hoping for this. I thought this might be interesting. I'm not exactly sure what I'd do, but I mean, queen e7's a move. Maybe knight d3. Can I just play knight d3, just stick the knight in there? This reminds me of Amora, where you just stop them from moving their d-pawn. And it makes it very hard to develop. And this feels like some kind of bind, some kind of compensation. Oh, it's the computer? Computer likes black. Yay. Okay, I was right about that one. But he didn't do that. Well, actually, I didn't do that. I didn't play knight f4. So I really want to ask the computer about this move. I will. It doesn't give knight f4. After knight f4, it says d4. Yeah, I was worried about d4. And then if I check here, I mean, so what? Right, king h1. What am I going to do? Take that? Yeah, white's better. They're just up a pawn. I mean, my remaining pieces are not that great, right? Like, I've got double pawns, got one bishop. I mean, my rook's active, but they could just play here even. Yeah, so white's better. Okay, engine off. Okay, so I played c5 though, which provoked d3 instead of d4, right? That's what I was hoping for. If they go d4, now they have a weak pawn too. I have a weak pawn, they have a weak pawn. That's a far cry from this position where I have double isolated pawns and they might be able to go d4, like before I go c5. Like if they get that pawn chain and I'm stuck with this, that's a definite positional advantage. So I didn't want to do that. But I did it somehow with c5. All right, so they go d3. And yeah, here I just started like burning a lot of time and just realizing that I'm just worse. And let's see if the engine agrees. Yeah, +1 for white. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought, but it's definitely not good. I went rook b8. Let's apply pressure on the b2 pawn, making it difficult to develop the bishop because I'll take knight a3. I thought this is the best move. The knight's coming into c4, and this is the problem. So if you have isolated pawns, then watch out for these very, like, he called it a god knight. I mean, he's 11 years old. He called it a god knight, but he's absolutely right. Once this knight gets to c4, it's a god knight. Nobody can take it. The best I have is knight b6. He could even just hop away there if I do that. It's just a definite advantage for white. So I like knight a3 a lot. I was kind of scared of it, and then he played it. Bishop f8, knight to c4. There you go. Queen d7, bishop e3. I should just call this game the god knight. Because once this happens, I'm just like, I just felt that I was lost. Like, it's just so hard to do anything here. My pawns are terrible. There's a god knight on c4. Like, I have no play. I can barely move. It's just so tough. So I took this with a concrete idea, and then I realized my concrete idea doesn't work. My idea was this. Take, take, take. Let them take here. And then take the knight. Like I'm on the knight. But then I realized they're actually protecting the knight from f7. So this variation is not good. It's garbage. Because I was planning like they move their knight away somewhere. I don't know where. Looked hard to move it. Yeah, I don't know where they move it. I don't know, b3. And then I could take here with check. Or, well, they have to move the knight, I guess. If they go here, though, then check or rook takes. Or I don't know. I felt like there's some play here, and I was desperate for play. I'm realizing now, though, that I need to be a lot more patient in my chess games. My current play style, which includes a lot of sacrificing, a lot of keeping the initiative or else you lose, it doesn't bode well for the positional style of chess, which is sometimes you just have to be patient, right? Just hold the position, be patient. And as you'll see, my opponent did a good job at this later. So after bishop e3, so now he's basically fine, right? Like he's got a god knight on c4. He got his last piece in the game. So I take with the intention to play an unsound line and then realize I can't. So queen e6, e4, rook e d8. Let's attack the weakness on d3. It can't easily move forward because I take, and then we can take stuff. Rook f2, a5. Why a5? I'm desperate for play. Take this pawn and I'll go, wait, this doesn't even work. I was going to take this pawn. That was the whole idea. Oh, actually, wait, was it? Was this the idea? Actually, I'm not sure this is the exact position this happened. Because if he took, I thought I had a move. I don't see one now. All right, well, anyway, rook a f1. Yeah, tripling down on my f7 pawn. I have a stupid bishop on f8. Not even a rook defending. So I have to defend this way. King h1, rook b to d8. Supply pressure here. He comes back. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that he might do something like, not even saying it's great, but like this. Okay, this doesn't even work because he could still take here. Oh, then I was planning this move. Yeah, I don't know. This is nothing. And then rook d2, a4, a3, rook b8. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. And like that's what I appreciate about this player. Like he's 11 years old, but he knows how to be patient. He just kept everything solid. He kept his knight on c4. The knight is guarding this pawn. Super annoying. It's guarding the rook. I had tricks earlier with rook takes e4 that I was trying to get in. Where was it? Yeah, right here. Huh. I feel like I don't have all the moves of the game or something. At some point, I was threatening like rook takes e4 and if pawn takes, but then, you know, honestly, it's weird. It's like I was calculating variations. And I think I'm remembering the variations more than the game. But okay. Rook e8, queen takes e6. Rook f3, g6. I mean, what do I do? I mean, what can black do? I don't know. I think I'm just lost. I'll ask the computer. +2 for white, yeah. It's just very hard to make any moves at all here. I went g6 because why not harass with my bishop a little bit? So I went here. He simply moves. Yeah, it's, oh, I think it was this position. This is the position I was thinking of. Like, I would love to do this. And hey, look, a free rook. Oh my gosh. Nope, the knight's guarding it backwards. So that stupid knight is so annoying. Oh yeah, and this is the end of the game. So after, I mean, I was just like shifting around. I can't do anything else. trying to apply pressure. But then I just blundered this. Like, I should have had my bishop on g7 to stop this move. And I just blundered this. The knight comes in. But when you have pressure on you for a long time, and like this is literally like an hour, I had this pressure building up, you tend to make a mistake. And that is exactly what happened here, where I just missed knight e5, which not only attacks my rook, but attacks f7. If I move my rook, I mean, they could just take, right? They could just take like this. This is not going to be good. If I take back, they take here. I mean, I guess I could do this. They take here. This is not good, though. This is lost. And otherwise, they're going to win my rook. So I think in the game, I actually played bishop g7. He just simply took. I mean, I'm just down material. I'm down 3 points of material. And I'll be honest with you, I played on the game, but I made my moves rather swiftly. And I mean, the idea behind I have two ideas when I do that. I wanted to resign. Resigning makes sense here. But my two ideas are, number one, I teach my students never resign because they shouldn't. They shouldn't resign. They're playing 1200s and stuff that hang their queens. Like, why would you resign against someone like that? Like, just wait for them to hang their queen, you know? But so that's one reason. And number two is that my opponent might blunder. I mean, he's 1900, but he's a human. So why not make some more moves and just see if he blunders. And of course he didn't, but so I played many more moves that I won't show, but the game went on for quite a while, but more quickly. And I'd play more quickly in that situation out of respect. I don't want to waste anyone's time, including my own. But I do think there's reason to play on, because anybody can blunder, any human. I don't care if you're a master, you can blunder. So I've seen grandmasters blunder online, right? Like, it happens. So that was round 3. Kind of a painful loss. Where did I go wrong? It's a good question. I mean, number one is it's time to learn the Ponziani with black and white. For all I mean, why I don't know this opening is crazy. Actually, I studied it once, which is how I knew as much as I did. But this pawn sec was sound. And then somehow I went wrong around here. I'm going to ask the computer because I really want to know. Rook e8 was right. Wow, rook f1 was right. It was. Wow, I would never dream this is the right move, but it is. c5. c5 is wrong. Yeah, I have to go here. Knight f4 is sort of okay, but rook e6 is the only move the computer really likes to not be horribly disadvantaged. So I guess we're going to triple before they do. That's my guess. So if they go d4, what, queen e7? It actually says queen h4. Okay. Well, we're not going to figure this out now, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.